Yeah.
Yeah, came in.
Where you at? Are you checking in for media or guests?
This is Tim Woodcock.
Oh, yes, wait. You can check in and take pictures of people if you want.
You know, man.
Do you all want to do some photo opping? Do you want
Had a great time.
Oh, good.
Yep.
This is a show
you.
I did prior to that's currently traveling the States of 83 portraits of freedom rides and busboy planes.
When you go out, we're hoping.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Can we take a picture together?
We were hoping. Do you want to do one out with the photographers? Have you gone through yet? Or just
I'm trying to avoid that for a second.
no, no problem.
Should I just shoot?
We can do something here. We'd love to.
Yeah, hey Tim, how are you? Nice to see you. Hello. How do you do? That's great. Well, I know, but you know, I mean, I didn't bring my jeans. I had to like work all day in New York.
Uh-oh. Good night. Sounds great. Surrounded with love. Go ahead. Yeah. Sure. Thank you, Charlotta.
We're going to bring them right down.
Hey, Charlotta. Where's the photography?
Thank you. And we have Cheryl coming back in. Right on the end. That's perfect, Cheryl.
You ready, guys? You ready?
Everybody can look right here on this side of the carpet, right here, to this gaggle right here.
All right, to the gaggle.
Yeah. All right. And then just follow. Bobby.
All the way down?
Not right now.
Bobby and Yoko? Yoko? Thank you.
Great. That's terrific. So I want to know, why did you decide to honor Mark?
Can I hear what's going on?
Well, he was very
She's coming back. She's coming back for you.
And to your right. To your right, please.
Yeah. And we'll bring Jimmy in to grab them.
I think.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Good to see you. Sure.
I'm giving you one more minute.
Oh, excuse me.
We're going to see if she can get a picture of the room.
We're gonna head right in. Thank you. I know.
What does she want to say?
Hi there. Hey, good.
He's like, where's Susan?
All right. Beautiful. Uh-oh. No moving. Beautiful. My goodness. Here's this.
Wait, it's sorry. It's upside down.
Yes. Here we go.
We have to end the video. Sorry.
Hey guys, look happy.
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry about it.
No, you're not.
Charlotte.
Little kid they brought me. Thank you. I enjoyed
Little bits and told him if he ever issued another ticket, he'd lose his job at DEP. That afternoon, he came to our office and he said, I'd rather lose my job if I'm not allowed to do it. And we got him in front of Andy Stein. He did a 3-day hearing with him testifying and a couple of his men. The bullets have been taken from their guns, their radios have been taken away, their ticket books have been taken away.
I don't know about you, but it's wonderful to see so many of you helpers in this room. And on that note, I want to welcome you to Riverkeepers Fisherman's Ball. And how great it is to wear citizens up and down the Hudson doing the surveillance and lobbying and tasks needed to keep our water clean. Riverkeeper and the Waterkeeper movement, led and sustained by all of you, the people in this room, are as vital as the water.
Places to swim. It also helps attract polluters and bring them to justice. Thank you, Ron Gatto.
Yeah.
Which it even led to the passage of New York's newest environmental law, the only environmental law passed in 2012, which for the first time ever requires the public to be notified whenever wastewater contaminates our rivers. I am proud of Riverkeepers and the passage of this new law and the rest of our victories.
We got together and started the organization that all of you have become part of over the years. A lot of us, when I first started working for Riverkeeper, it became very clear to me that there was a connection that democracy and the environment were intertwined in many, many ways. Both of them required participation, accountability, and transparency, and that neither of them would work without it. And that the big thing that we needed to fear were these big agglomerations of power that could overwhelm our democracy. These alliances between large corporations and the government. When they got too close together, decree that these big polluters were allowed to privatize the commons, to use their political power to steal the waterway, the air, the fisheries, the things that we all hold in common, to steal them from us. And here on the Hudson River, the biggest battle that we fought over 30 years against the General Electric Company, which had used political clout to get permission to do something that was illegal, which was to dump its toxic PCBs into the Hudson. That posed not just the environment, but also to our democracy. Now, over the past couple of days, we've all been thinking a lot about Boston. And I grew up in Boston, and I have a lot of my family here who did the same. My Uncle Teddy, who died 4 years ago, took our family every summer, as his mother had done for him, and as her father, his mother Rose Kennedy, her father, Honey Fitz, the first Irish Catholic mayor, ghetto Catholic mayor of Boston. And every summer, he would bring them to historical sites. And Teddy did the same thing with us. He drove 60 or 70 grandchildren and great-grandchildren into Winnebagos. And we'd go to Manassas, Fredericksburg, Antietam, Gettysburg, see the great battlefields of the Civil War. But mostly we'd stay around Boston. We'd go to Plymouth Rock and Walden Pond. We'd go to Boston Harbor and the Freedom Trail and Faneuil Hall and Old West Church. And we'd camp at night in Boston Harbor. And they told us the story of what law called NEPA. So that they could do this without taking the environmental impact statement, they could put poisons in the water and in the groundwater. Things that no other industry and none of the people in this room would be allowed to do. It would be illegal, we would be outlawed, we could go to jail. Anybody in this room if we did that. But they got waivers from doing it. And a few years ago, I asked John Adams, who's Fracklin's first name into the picture in New York State. I asked John Adams, who's the greatest hero in the environmental movement, the history of this country, here tonight. Is there anything that would make you consider doing, supporting fracking? And he said, well, I couldn't even begin to think about it until they are forced to obey the laws that they got waivers for. Yeah. Because why should they get a waiver when all of us, the rest of us have to obey the law? So they have that political power. Get all of those laws waived for them, but for nobody else. And they also have the political power to go into virtually every state in this country where there was shale gas. States are neighbors like Pennsylvania, from Oklahoma, Nevada, all over this country, Texas. And they were able to get those laws waived and frack to their pleasure. The one state where they're not allowed to do that is New York State. I've been to Pennsylvania, to Dimmock, Pennsylvania, and I went there with Mike Richter one time, and we saw them turn on their faucets and let the fire come out. And we saw the people with these contraptions in their basements, completely filling their basements, trying to filter their water and live a normal life. And we met with Governor Rendell, and he said, I'm going to stop this. And guess what? Governor Rendell is my friend, great Democrat. Guess where he works right now?
Oil and gas industry.
Gas companies.
That's right.
And he's coming to New York State and trying to persuade Governor Cuomo to do the same thing in New York State that he did in Pennsylvania. But there's a reason that hasn't happened. And the reason is an individual from Mark Ruffalo. Around the rest of the country, everyone knows Mark Ruffalo for being an actor and a producer and a director, but in New York State, we know him for being an activist. Because he has done a public service for the state that we all have to thank him for. He didn't want to be here tonight. He fought us, and he said, I don't want to do it, and if I do it, I got to bring 20 other activists with me. He comes from Calhoun up in the Catskills. Yeah. His friends are all in this room. We had to give them each $500 seats. And he does all the star stuff, movie star stuff, but he also does, he goes to the planning board meeting, he goes to the zoning board meeting, he goes to the town hall meeting. He makes trips to Albany, he makes us make trips to Albany in the middle of the winter. He requires after a bunch of calls from us, from the activists, they start dodging and not taking our calls, but I dodge Mark's calls. Because he calls constantly. Trying to get me to go to Albany in the middle of the winter and hold a sign that says something bad about my brother-in-law.
Yeah.
So, largely because of him, and you know, you can't put this all on Mark because there are 20,000 anti-fracking activists in New York State. A lot of those 20,000 were inspired to do what they're doing because of Mark Buffett. Oh, we had Royce out here. He's a very humble guy, and he's soft-spoken, and he's kind, but he's absolutely as solid as the rock of Gibraltar. And as long as he's in California, I do not believe that there will be fracking in New York State. So, yeah. Made by artist Bruce Larson. He takes this award every year. He's an extraordinary sculptor. He's here tonight, and this is a fish. This is our symbol, but Mark Ruffalo, I give you.
Robert F. Kennedy, I mean, this guy, why are you the president? So you have to forgive me if I go astray. Thank you, Riverkeeper, and the board of Riverkeeper for this honor and distinction. It's quite humbling. Thanks for all the work that you do around water in our state and throughout the U.S. You are one of our heroes, and Ed Roberts' brother-in-law, which is never fun. This isn't fun. Now, I also want to thank Paul Galay, who got me here kicking and screaming. Thanks, Paul. I try to explain to him that I don't like receiving awards, especially awards for doing things that just pretty much seem like the right thing to do. Honestly, the truth of the matter is I personally don't deserve this award. I'm sorry. You could all leave now. And I'd be a big fat phony pants if I stood up here and pretended that I did. The truth of the matter is this award belongs to a wondrous group of people from many different walks of life. From the cultural community that I'm fortunate to work in, people like Josh Fox, Deborah Winger, Arliss Howard, Tom Noonan, Talia Legacy, Susan Sarandon, Ethan Hawke, who's waiting for the applause to undone, Julianne Moore, Scarlett Johansson, Matt Damon, and Ed Norton, all of whom have come out to help us on this issue.
Yeah.
To each and every one of you here tonight that donated to be here, except for my merry group of activists who are here gratis. Thank you, and thank you for continuing to fund this incredibly important work that Riverkeeper does and continues to do. Thank you. They're incredible folks from New Yorkers Against Fracking and the vast coalition of regional groups that make up its core and contribute to its effectiveness and strength. Julia Walsh is here tonight, Sharon Armstrong, David Braun, Renee Vogelsen. These people are the people who rent a 2-bedroom house together and live in it so that they can keep our world clean and fight for clean water and clean air. And that's a big thing to do, and it takes a lot of passion and a lot of commitment to do that. When they should be out in the world making a career, they're doing this, and this is what means a lot to them. I want to thank the incredibly bright and fearless Sandra Steingraber, whose written words and discerning mind truly demonstrate the pen is mightier than the sword. Bruce Ferguson and Joel Wiener from my own region in the Catskills. My green brothers, Ramsey Adams and Wes Gillingham. 4 years ago, along with Robert Kennedy Jr., took me to Dimmock, PA, God damn you, and ignited in me this righteous indignation that has propelled me on this journey and has dragged me kicking and screaming out of my bed when I didn't want to continue with the seemingly impossible fight. John Adams, thank you. You are a hero. You mean something. You're important. Kate Sinding, Rich Schrader, Mark Eisman, and all the folks at the NRDC in New York, thank you. Thanks to the national leadership that Food and Water Watch has given to this movement. Thank you to the Park Foundation and the $11 Foundation for feeding us, clothing us, and getting us on buses and funding. Thank you to the people in the southern tier of New York who are fighting for their lives at this moment, and the people throughout those communities. This is the area that was rumored to be the place that fracking would first begin in New York State. And a special shout out to Mayor of Binghamton, Matt Ryan, who is here. This is the long part of the speech. A lot of this is inside stuff for some of you folks. It'll really start cooking in a minute, I promise you. Matt has been on the front lines. He's been protecting people up in the Binghamton area, and he has been exposing the gas industry and educating people, and he is a hero. Thank you, Arun Gandhi, for joining our movement and bringing with you the dignity and legacy that your grandfather, Mahatma Gandhi, brought to that movement. Thank you to the citizens from PA. And this is how I got started with this. This has all been about people to me. I didn't want to do this. I walked into that room with Robert Kennedy, and I heard these horror stories of people who can't drink their water out of their wells, who can't take showers, the kids are passing out because their houses are full of gas, and I wanted to run from that room as fast as I could. But then I wouldn't be who I say I am. And that's one of those moral places that become, well, the rubber hits the road and you get to see what you're made of. And then you get to decide who you are and how you're going to live your life. And those are the victims in PA. I want to especially thank a dedication to Vera Scroggins and Craig Stevens, who are both here tonight. You guys stand up? Where are you guys? There it is. Okay, guys, Vera and Craig lead tours of the contaminated fracked areas in PA to show people the cost of this destructive industrialization. They have people making threats on their lives, libeling them, making threats of bodily harm. What these people go through every day, they deserve an enormous amount of gratitude here in New York. We wouldn't be here without them. and all the grassroots people, with each and every one of them, the 20,000 people that Robert's talking about, all of these folks are the principled, dedicated, passionate, untiring leaves of grass from all over the state. They are at every rally, they make every phone call, they send every email, they travel far and wide to insist that there are no sacrificial lives and money is not worth more than people. Yeah. As a... What am I? No.
Good channel.
I'm here as a representative of these people. And we're a collection of thousands upon thousands of people that have shared a belief that a world of clean water, clean air, and clean energy is imaginably possible and actually morally mandated. And last, but sincerely not least, I want to thank my wife, Fundraiser, and my children, King, Bella, and Odette. Thank you, my dear wife. Your patience and support are very, very special to me indeed, and you and the kids have sacrificed a lot of family sacred time for this cause. So thank you on behalf of New York.
Thank you.
Okay. 4 years ago, New York was the next frontier for hydrofracking. It was a done deal. They told us the environmental movement was dead, fracking's gonna happen, so shut up and move along. Go on back to sleep, kid, there's nothing to see here. Thankfully, we all said no. We will not shut up. We will not go to sleep. We will arm ourselves with knowledge. We will meet in public places. We will make noise. We will insist that science guide the way. We will not bend to grand organizational defeatism. We will not accept the status quo nor the politically possible. We will use our imaginations to protect, to project, and bring into the world what we want to live in and raise our children in and be part of. A world where we feel no shame participating in. A world where we don't have to sacrifice our neighbors nor our integrity because there are jobs to be made and money. You people imagined a movement that could achieve the impossible, and that is exactly what we did. Can I just please take a moment to dump on the phrase politically possible? How many times have we had to step over that phrase over the last 4 years of fighting hydrofracking? How many times have we had to step over our own members who clung to that phrase in fear? Ooh, politically impossible. Ooh, scary big words, politically impossible. That's not politically possible. We heard this all the time. And how much of that have we come to see to be total and utter crap? Can we please, from this moment on, at least within our own ranks, stop using that tired, old, fossil of a term? It has no basis in reality. If political possibility were a reality, most of the greatest things that mankind has ever accomplished, politically or otherwise, wouldn't exist. Please stop with the politically possible. Let's say yes to the politically imaginable in New York State. At this moment, we can say we're winning in New York State on this front. Because of you. Because of thousands of others that are not here tonight, but trail behind us like a beautiful expanded plume of a great African peacock. We're winning, but we have not yet won. Yes, your dollars, your phone calls, your presence, your hard work have actually amounted to something. Please, at this moment, turn to your neighbor and give them a hug, a kiss, a handshake. To get New York State off fossil fuels. Yes, that's true. We now have a viable plan to make New York State fossil-free by 2030. And that wasn't done by treehugger.com. That was done by Professor Mark Jacobson of Stanford. That's right. And a lot of bright New York scientists and economists. Tony Ingraffia, Bob Howarth, Stan Scobies, Janet Barth, and many others. Now this paper is pure science and economics. It's not a tree hugger fantasy. No, I don't have anything against tree huggers. I'm a tree hugger myself. Sometimes when I'm feeling bad, lonely, I'll walk out into the woods and hug a tree. But that's not what this is. Jobs? You got it. Healthcare cost reductions by the billions? Got it. Stable and fixed energy costs, which are good for businesses? Got it. Locally produced energy? Got it. The end of the carbon wars? Got it. A way to stop climate change? You got it. Clean water and air? Got it. The end of the fossil fuel treadmill? You got it. Hey! Wait a second. That's not politically possible. Fracking is just the beginning. It is a baby step on a triumphant road that lies ahead. It is a problem that has led to a solution. It is a pathway to an imaginable and attainable future. How do we get that from here? We each keep doing what we can to imagine the world we want to live in. We set our attention and our will in that direction, and then we act on it. I happen to be a great admirer of the acting part of that equation. That has produced great results for me and the things I've imagined. And I assure you, unless we act, it won't happen. So we act on it in the ways that we can. By giving money to fund the folks that don't have the resources that are available to folks like you and me. We offer our services, our wisdom. We bring our professions to it, as I have done, and Josh Fox has done, and Yoko Ono has done, and Artists Against Fracking has done, and David Fenton has done, and John Bowermaster and Natalie Merchant has done, and the great Robert Kennedy Jr. has done. Now, we have in our hands right now a renewable energy plan for New York State. It's the first of its kind in the nation. Why hasn't anyone done this before? I don't know. Now, many of you here tonight who know our governor and financially support our governor can act by using your important voices to give him a new direction that will answer his needs on jobs and economy, and ultimately pave his way to higher office, if he so wishes. This is not pie in the sky stuff, my people. The economics are good on this, yo. The jobs are there. This is real. This can be done with technology that's on the shelf today. My brothers and sisters.
Our governor Paul wants a chance to show real leadership and stop this.
We will not have our water gambled with.
Will you go down in history as the man who saved our children?
Those jobs won't last forever, but the chemicals that infect our water will.
Governor Cuomo has the opportunity to play a hero's role here. Fracking. Each well is a chimney in the earth, venting toxic gases into our communities. Each well requires an access road, a 5-acre well pad, a spider's web of pipeline, 50,000 gallons of chemicals, 4 to 9 million gallons of water, and at least 1,000 diesel truck trips.
I did not know what fracking was, or that I was being deliberately poisoned, but I do now.
Why are we talking about building out a $700 billion infrastructure build-out in order to accommodate natural gas when we only have 20 years worth of it. Long-term campaign to get the truth out about this.
It disintegrates communities.
Where there should be a full-throated defense of public health, there is instead denial, deceit, silence.
That's what we're up against.
We're awake, and we realize that we are the change that we have been waiting for.
We are New Yorkers against fracking.
We're going to wait till you begin to take a smell out that.
And they make your
These guys are going to be